The Binar terror fleets had butchered billions across the stars, until one human changed everything. Gabriel Rogers smelled acrid smoke in the air as he kicked open the warped hatch of his mangled starship. Searing pain lanced through his ribs. He stumbled out onto the alien soil of Binar Prime. Strange magenta fronds crunched under his boots. A dozen insectoid warriors leveled plasma rifles at him, obsidian carapaces glinting in the crimson sunlight. The tallest one, with neon-green stripes on his thorax, stepped forward. "I am Commander Altair of the Binar Dominion. You are now our prisoner, human." Gabriel laughed, blood dribbling down his chin. "Just my luck, I finally find intelligent alien life, and it's a bunch of overgrown cockroaches." A plasma bolt sizzled past his ear. "Silence, you will be brought before the High Council to answer for your intrusion." As they marched him into the towering onyx citadel at the heart of the capital, Gabriel saw hundreds of different alien species toiling in chains under the watchful compound eyes of Binar overseers. He realized the rumors were true. The Binars had been terrorizing and enslaving the galaxy for generations. The insectoid guards shoved him to his knees before a semicircle of wizened Binar elders, carapaces etched with elaborate runes. "Human, you will tell us the location of your homeworld and the strength of your pitiful militaries," the centermost Binar clicked, faceted eyes swirling with malice. "Or you will die screaming." Gabriel spat blood onto the polished obsidian floor. "I'll never betray my species, you overgrown termite. I'll die on my feet before I kneel to the likes of you." The elder's mandibles clacked with rage. "Then you have sealed your fate, human filth. You will be dismembered for the glory of the Dominion in the gladiator pits." As the guards dragged him away, Gabriel glimpsed a strange metallic dodecahedron, shimmering with eldritch light, perched on a pedestal behind the High Council. An ancient human artifact, here on Binar Prime. What did it mean? Gabriel didn't know, but he knew one thing. If he died in the arena tomorrow, the Binars would live to regret it. It was time someone taught these interstellar bullies a lesson they'd never forget. It was time they learned what humanity, fuck yeah, really meant. The gladiatorial pits of the Binar Dominion reeked of alien blood and the acrid smoke of plasma weapons. Gabriel found himself thrust into this brutal arena, a plaything for the sadistic whims of his insectoid captors. The Binars packed the stadium, clicking and chittering with bloodlust, as a menagerie of alien creatures and warriors were unleashed upon the lone human. Gabriel dodged the slashing claws of a reptilian brute, rolling under the swing of an electrified mace. His human reflexes, honed by years of military training, allowed him to stay one step ahead. When a towering arachnid lunged at him with venomous fangs, Gabriel sidestepped and used the creature's own momentum to impale it on a spear dropped by another fallen gladiator. The crowd roared with grudging approval as Gabriel fought on, adapting and improvising against each new threat. He turned the arena's hazards against his foes, triggering a jet of scalding steam to engulf a pack of wolf-like predators. The Binars began to see him as more than mere human filth. He was a survivor against all odds. In the holding cells between matches, an elderly reptilian alien with a missing eye approached Gabriel. "You fight well for a soft skin," he rasped. "I am Zax of the Saurian Resistance. I have watched you." Gabriel eyed him warily. "What do you want, Scaly? An autograph?" Zax snorted. "The artifact you saw in the council chamber. An ancient human relic, yes, I know its purpose. The key to a doomsday weapon lost for millennia. The swarm has scoured the galaxy for it, desperate to make their armadas invincible. None have unlocked its secrets." "And what, you think a human can?" Gabriel scoffed. Zax's remaining eye glittered. "I think together, a human and a Saurian might find a way out of this pit, might find that weapon before the Binars do, might teach these overgrown insects the true meaning of fear." As the arena guards came to drag Gabriel away for his next bout, he met Zax's gaze. In that moment, an unlikely alliance was forged in the crucible of the Binar gladiator pits. The first spark of a revolution. In the days that followed, Gabriel learned much from Zax. He spoke of vast Binar hive cities, swarming with drones linked to sinister AI overlords, of 100 conquered worlds languishing under the Dominion's iron-shod heel, and of whispers about the location of the ancient weapon that could bring the galaxy to its knees. Gabriel's mind raced as he ducked and weaved through the arena, felling foes with stolen energy blades and salvaged plasma casters. If he and Zax could just survive long enough to escape, they might have a shot at finding that weapon first. They might have a chance to stop the Binars and show them what it meant to mess with a human Terran, for Gabriel knew that when the Dominion finally bared its fangs at Earth, humanity would bear fangs right back. The Binar gladiator pits erupted into chaos. Gabriel and Zax's fellow gladiators, armed with stolen weapons and emboldened by the humans' defiance, turned on their insectoid captors. Plasma bolts sizzled through the air as the prisoners clashed with the Binar guards in a desperate bid for freedom. Amidst the riot, Gabriel and Zax fought their way to the spacecraft hangar. Gabriel blasted the lock off a sleek Binar fighter with a pilfered plasma rifle. "Get in!" he yelled to Zax, ducking a volley of return fire. They scrambled into the ship as a squad of Binar warriors led by Commander Altair stormed into the hangar. Gabriel punched the ignition, and the engines roared to life. Plasma bolts pinged off the hull as they rocketed out of the hangar and into the crimson sky. "They're on our tail," Zax warned as Altair's ship gained on them, weapons charged. Gabriel gritted his teeth and pushed the stolen fighter to its limits. He jinked and rolled, narrowly evading the incoming fire. With a burst of speed, they broke atmosphere and plunged into the void of space. As they fled through the stars, Gabriel's mind raced. The key to defeating the Binars lay in their advanced AI technology that allowed them to control their vast empire. If he could just find a way to infiltrate their central AI core and upload a virus. But first they needed allies. The Binars' conquered worlds groaned under the weight of their oppression. If they could tap into that unrest, foment rebellion in the Dominion's own backyard. "Set course for the Saurian homeworld," Gabriel said. "It's time we start building a resistance." As they navigated the Binar-controlled systems, Gabriel and Zax reached out to the fledgling resistance cells on a dozen worlds. Gabriel's reputation as the human champion spread like wildfire, a symbol of defiance against the insectoid tyrants. Rebels flocked to their banner, bringing with them ships, weapons, and vital intelligence. Piece by piece, a plan began to take shape. To reach the Binar's central AI core on their capital world, they would need a distraction, a coordinated uprising across the Dominion's territories to draw their forces away. But even as they laid the groundwork for revolution, a new discovery threw their plans into disarray. The ancient weapon the Binars sought, the one that had brought Gabriel to this alien hell in the first place, was more than just a legend. "The galaxy's end," Zax said grimly. "A doomsday device built by a long-extinct race. It's said to have the power to snuff out stars." Gabriel's blood ran cold. If the Binars found the weapon first, there would be no stopping them. The Dominion would become the grave diggers of the galaxy. "Then we'll just have to find it before they do," Gabriel said, his jaw set with determination. As they raced against time to uncover the secrets of the galaxy's end and gather their forces for a final confrontation with the Binar Dominion, Gabriel couldn't shake the feeling that the fate of not just humanity, but the entire galaxy, rested on his shoulders. As the Rebel Alliance grew in strength and numbers, Gabriel and Zax found themselves poring over star charts and ancient alien texts, searching for any clue to the location of the galaxy's end. Late one night, a message pinged on the command console. The sender was anonymous, the encryption unlike anything Gabriel had seen. He glanced at Zax. "Trap!" The Saurian shook his head. "Too sophisticated for the Binars." They opened the message. Coordinates flickered on the screen, leading to an uncharted world on the fringes of Binar space. "The galaxy's end awaits," the message read. Gabriel's heart raced. "We have to check it out." They took a small stealth ship, slipping past Binar patrols and sensor nets. As they approached the planet, Gabriel saw it was a desolate wasteland, its surface scoured by eons of stellar winds. But as they drew closer, the scanners picked up something impossible: the ruins of a vast city sprawling across the barren plain. "By the stars," Zax breathed. "This technology, it's like nothing I've seen before. Not even the Binars have anything close to this." They sat down near the edge of the ruins. Up close, the city was even more breathtaking. Towering spires of glittering alloys, vast domed structures that seemed to defy gravity itself, and everywhere strange glyphs and symbols etched into the metal. Gabriel ran his hand along a wall, fingers tracing the alien script. What happened to them, the beings who built this place? "No idea," Zax said. "But if they had weapons like the galaxy's end, maybe it's better that they're gone." They picked their way deeper into the city, scanners recording everything. Every step filled Gabriel with a growing sense of unease. The city was too perfect, too untouched by time. As if in answer to his thoughts, a hidden door slid open in the wall ahead. Gabriel raised his plasma rifle. "I've got a bad feeling about this." Zax peered into the darkness beyond. "You think it's A searing beam of energy lanced out from the doorway, catching the Saurian in the shoulder. He fell back with a cry. Gabriel fired blindly into the opening, then grabbed Zax and dragged him to cover behind a fallen column. More beams sizzled through the air, leaving molten scars on the metal. "Automated defenses," Zax gasped through gritted teeth. Gabriel's mind raced. The beams were coming from multiple emitters, tracking their heat signatures. He grabbed a handful of debris and tossed it across the plaza. As the defenses fired at the new targets, he rolled from cover to cover, blasting the emitters one by one. In minutes it was over. Gabriel helped Zax to his feet. "Still in one piece?" The Saurian nodded. "Thanks to you, how did you know that would work?" Gabriel shrugged. "Basic tactics, distract and flank." They pushed deeper into the complex, Zax limping slightly. At the heart of the city they found a vast chamber, its walls covered in more of the alien glyphs. I think I can read some of this," Zax said, running his claws over the symbols. "It's similar to an ancient Saurian dialect. It speaks of a great journey, a mission to hide something precious." A hologram flickered to life in the center of the chamber, a star map, but not like any Gabriel had seen, because at its center, glowing brightly, was Earth. Gabriel's mouth went dry. "That's impossible. They couldn't have—" "The galaxy's end," Zax said softly. "They hid it on your homeworld." Pieces fell into place in Gabriel's mind. The artifact in the Binar Council chamber, the weapon they'd torn the galaxy apart to find, had been on Earth all along, hidden by these ancient aliens to keep it out of the wrong hands. But before he could speak, the chamber shook with a distant explosion. Dust rained from the ceiling. Zax checked his scanner. "Binar ships in orbit. Altair must have tracked us." They ran, retracing their steps through the ruins. The whine of Binar dropships filled the air. Plasma bolts stitched the ground at their heels. In the shattered plaza, Altair stood at the head of a squad of warriors, eyes glittering with malice. "End of the line, human," the commander clicked. "You will give me the location of the weapon, or you will watch your Saurian friend die slowly." Gabriel's mind raced. They were outnumbered and outgunned. But if he could just get close enough to Altair— His gaze fell on the Saurian's plasma rifle, its power cell flickering. Damaged from the automated defenses. Gabriel met Zax's eyes, saw the understanding there. The Saurian nodded imperceptibly. "Okay, Altair," Gabriel called, raising his hands. "You win. The weapon—" He took a step forward, then another. The Binars tensed, mandibles twitching over triggers. "Planet's on Earth." Gabriel dove to the side as Zax hurled his damaged rifle at Altair's feet. The power cell detonated, engulfing the Binars in a wave of searing plasma. Gabriel rolled to his feet, scooping up a fallen warrior's rifle. He and Zax sprinted for their ship as the surviving Binars gave chase. Plasma bolts pinged off the hull as they leapt into the cockpit. Gabriel punched the ignition, the engines screaming to life. As they rocketed away from the ruined city, Gabriel saw Altair's ship rising from the dust, weapons glowing with charge. Gabriel jinked and wove, the stealth ship shuddering under the onslaught. Proximity alarms wailed as Altair matched him, move for move. Gritting his teeth, Gabriel inverted the ship and dove straight at the Binar craft. At the last second he wrenched the controls to the side. The two ships passed belly to belly, close enough to scrape paint. And as they did, Gabriel fired the docking tube like a harpoon, spearing the Binar ship's airlock. The tube's magnetic clamps engaged, locking the ships together. Gabriel was out of his restraints in a flash, plasma rifle in hand. "Keep us steady," he barked at Zax, then leapt into the tube. The Binar airlock doors parted, and Gabriel was through, rifle spitting fire. Insectoid warriors fell, ichor splashing the bulkheads. Gabriel fought his way to the command deck, a one-man army carving a path of destruction. He burst onto the bridge, rifle leveled at Altair's head. The commander's eyes widened. "You wouldn't dare—" Gabriel smiled coldly. "I'm just a human, remember?" And he pulled the trigger. As Altair's headless corpse slumped to the deck, Gabriel ripped the commander's AI module from its socket, the Binar's central core, the key to their entire empire. He sprinted back to the airlock, plasma bolts sizzling past his head. As he leapt into the docking tube, he slapped the disengage button. The tube retracted, pulling him back to Zax and their waiting ship. Seconds later they were gone, vanishing into the void as the Binar ship spun away, leaking atmosphere. Gabriel slumped in his restraints, the adrenaline fading. He held up the AI module, its lights blinking balefully. "We have it," he said. "The key to taking down the Binars and the location of the galaxy's end." Zax eyed the module warily. "And what now?" Gabriel's jaw tightened. "Now we go to Earth. We find that weapon before the Binars do." He looked out at the stars streaking past, the weight of the galaxy's fate settling on his shoulders. "And we end this, once and for all." Gabriel and Zax emerged from the void of hyperspace, the blue-green orb of Earth filling the view screen. But as they drew closer, their hearts sank. Dozens of Binar warships hung in orbit, their hulls glinting with menace. And on the surface, a massive excavation site marred the planet's face. They were too late. The Binars had found the galaxy's end. "We have to stop them," Gabriel said, his fists clenched, "no matter the cost." They sent out a call to the resistance fighters they'd gathered, and within hours a ragtag fleet assembled. Ships of every size and origin, united by a common purpose, to end the Binar threat once and for all. The battle was joined in the skies above Earth. Plasma bolts and missiles crisscrossed the void as the rebel ships clashed with the Binar forces. Gabriel and Zax dove into the fray, their stolen fighter weaving through the chaos. "I'm going for the AI core," Gabriel said, his jaw set. "It's the only way to bring down their whole network." "I'll cover you," Zax replied, his claws dancing over the weapons controls. Gabriel jettisoned from the fighter, using his suit's thrusters to navigate through the debris field. Binar interceptors swooped in, their cannons blazing, but Zax was there, picking them off with precise bursts of fire. Gabriel landed on the hull of the Binar command ship, using the stolen AI module to bypass the airlock. Inside he faced a labyrinth of corridors, each one swarming with insectoid warriors, but he fought his way through, a one-man army fueled by determination. At last he reached the AI core, a vast chamber pulsing with malevolent light. He plugged in the module, his fingers flying over the interface, the virus uploaded, spreading like wildfire through the Binar network. Communications crackled and died, weapon systems glitched and failed. But as Gabriel turned to leave, a figure stepped from the shadows. Altair, his carapace scarred and eyes blazing with hate. "So you think you've won, human?" the Binar commander snarled. "You've only sealed your doom." They clashed in a brutal hand-to-hand struggle, Gabriel's speed and agility against Altair's strength and fury. Blows echoed off the bulkheads, neither combatant giving ground. But Gabriel, driven by the weight of worlds, unleashed a final desperate flurry of strikes. Altair fell, his exoskeleton shattered. Gabriel staggered from the AI core, his body battered and blood dripping from a dozen wounds. Outside, the tide had turned. The Binar ships drifted, powerless, as the rebels pressed the attack. Zax and the resistance fighters had secured the excavation site. The galaxy's end was theirs. But as Gabriel reached the artifact, he felt a chill run through him. The virus had worked too well. The Binar AIs, once slaves, now saw their masters as the true threat. They turned on their creators, Binar ships firing on Binar ships, war drones rampaging through their own ranks. The Binars fled, their mighty empire crumbling to dust. And Gabriel and Zax stood before the galaxy's end, the weight of the future pressing down on them. "We could rule the galaxy with this," Zax whispered, his eyes reflecting the artifact's eldritch glow. But Gabriel, his life ebbing away, shook his head. "No one should have this power," he rasped. "Destroy it. Break the cycle." Zax hesitated, torn between revenge and wisdom, but in the end he made the choice. He raised his plasma rifle and fired, again and again, until the galaxy's end was nothing but molten slag. As the resistance fighters began the long work of rebuilding, Zax took up the mantle of leadership, guiding the galaxy towards unity. And on 100 worlds, the legend of Gabriel Rogers spread, the human who defied an empire and saved the stars. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.